and Batman. He was heavily involved with Batman.
Oh, really? Okay.
I spent a lot of time with him because I got a job in 1996 working on Superman Returns, it was called.
Now,
Superman
was it?
Reborn.
That wasn't. You weren't going to put Tim Burton in the suit. That was.
But I suggested, like, again, my opinion didn't mean shit at that point.
Right.
Like, Chasing Amy, I think, had yet to even come out. I was coming off Mallrats. But when I handed in my script, I was like, you guys should get Tim Burton, man. He did a great job with Batman.
Yeah.
Even though his sensibility is different than fucking, Batman,
Yeah.
Superman, the character. Like, that dude knows that because there were nobody else that you can point to be like, there's a comic book guy. But at the point that I was involved with it, nobody was attached yet. Tim Burton would come later. Nick Cage would come later on as well. But when I was working on it, I had to go meet with Peters in order to go through the approval process because when he used to run Warner Brothers with Peter Guber. And then, let me backtrack. They were at Warner Brothers during Batman. Movie went fucking huge. Over on the other side of town, the Japanese buy Sony.
Okay.
And then they say, we need someone to run this studio. Let's just turn to the premier producers who made the most successful movie of this year. And they brought Peter Guber. They bought them out of their Warner Brothers contracts, brought them to Sony, and had them run the studio. If you're interested in this kind of shit, there's an amazing book called Hit and Run, which is all about Guber Peters taking over Sony and running it into the ground, and the Japanese fleeing Hollywood in a big bad way because they're like, this is a fool's errand. It's just a hole to put money into. So those dudes wound up with golden parachutes dropping out of Sony and when it was in its worst financial conditions in years, and they landed separately. John Peters landed with an overall deal at Warner Brothers. One of the two projects he requested when he came in the door was the Muhammad Ali story and Superman. And I can't say this is why, but I've been to his office. Yeah. And if you recall, back in the 70s, there was an issue of Superman where he fought Muhammad Ali.
Oh, no.
And he had a giant blow up in his office framed of those two characters fighting.
Wow.
And I often suspect he was just like, what will my next two movies be? And he goes, here it is. So he was the guy, and so I had to go meet with him. And when they sent me to meet with him, I was warned, like, he's a bit eccentric, and he's going to tell you some things that he wants in the movie that we don't. But go meet with him, blah blah blah. You got to he's the guy. If he likes you, you're on the job. We like you here at the studio. He's got to like you. So you go to meet him, and he literally lives in an estate like here in Hollywood. It was over in Beverly Hills. That is reminiscent of going up to Batman's house, to Bruce Wayne's house, like very large property. And this is 96 at this point, so I haven't been around big affluent properties at this early in my career. This is the biggest one I'd seen. You get in and there's a fucking butler and maid, and somebody parks your car, and there's like stables and shit, like grounds. It was